Today, we are diving deep into Henryk Sienkiewicz's epic novel, Quo Vadis. It's a massive story that boils down to one huge question. What really lasts? Is it an empire built on brute force, or is it a kingdom built on an idea?
Our story throws us right into the Roman Empire, a world of unimaginable luxury and incredibly lethal politics. This quote comes from a guy named Petronius, the arbiter of elegance. Think of him as the coolest, most sophisticated man in Rome. And he's talking about his boss, the Emperor Nero, who he dares to call Bronzebeard. This one line tells you everything. Life would be pretty good if it wasn't for the unhinged tyrant in charge. And what a world it is. We're in a Rome that is just dripping with decadence. Power is the only thing that's real, and pleasure is the only goal. This is the stage where our whole story is going to play out. At the center of this world, you've got two main forces. On one side, there's Petronius. He's sophisticated, he's witty, a true master of taste. On the other, Emperor Nero, a guy who thinks he's a divine artist, but is really just a cruel, unstable, and deeply vain ruler. And caught between them is our protagonist, a young soldier named Marcus Vinicius, who also happens to be Petronius's nephew. The whole story really kicks off when Vinicius, a man who is very used to taking whatever he wants, sees a woman named Lygia. Now, she's a foreign princess living as a hostage in Rome. And for Vinicius, it is instant, all-consuming obsession.
Yeah, this is not a gentle romance. For a Roman patrician like Vinicius, love is about conquest. He sees Lygia as an object, a prize to be won. His words are raw, they're possessive, there's no tenderness there at all. His first move? He goes straight to his powerful uncle Petronius and says, basically, hey, get Nero to give her to me. Just like that.
But things don't go according to plan. When Nero's guards show up to take Lygia, she vanishes. She escapes into this hidden side of Rome, a world Vinicius never knew existed. And so his desire turns into a desperate, citywide hunt. So where did she go? It turns out Lygia is a Christian. At this time, that means she's part of a secretive underground faith. They use a simple symbol of a fish to identify each other. And their values, love, forgiveness, humility, they are the polar opposite of everything Rome celebrates: power, excess, and force. So Vinicius's obsessive hunt for this one woman becomes an education he never signed up for. He dives into these hidden corners of Rome, and he's forced to confront this strange new faith. It completely confuses him, but it also starts to make him question everything he's ever believed about power, about desire, about what love even means. Just as Vinicius's personal world is being turned upside down, the entire city of Rome is about to be consumed by a catastrophe. This personal drama is about to get dwarfed by a truly historic inferno. For 9 straight days, the Great Fire of Rome just burns. On day 3, Nero finally shows up. But while his city burns and his people suffer, he sees artistic inspiration. He literally watches the flames while playing his lyre, composing a song. It's an absolutely staggering moment of vanity over duty. With the city in ruins, the people are enraged, and they're looking for someone to blame, and their eyes are turning right toward Nero. To save his own skin, he knows he needs to redirect all that anger. As he says himself, vengeance needs a victim. The perfect scapegoats? The Christians. They're secretive, they're misunderstood, and people already distrust them. So a wave of just brutal persecution is unleashed. The hunt for Lygia is over, in the worst way imaginable. She, along with thousands of others, is arrested and sentenced to die a gruesome public death in the arena. And so, this is it. All the different parts of our story, the love, the faith, the power, the cruelty, it all comes together in the blood and sand of the Roman Colosseum. This is the ultimate showdown. Watching in horror from the stands is a changed man. Vinicius, who was once that arrogant soldier, has secretly converted to Christianity. He was won over by Lygia and her faith, and now he's completely powerless to stop what's about to happen. Lygia is brought into the arena, and she is tied to the horns of a massive, wild bull. Her death is meant to be the grand finale, a spectacular piece of cruelty designed by Nero himself. But she is not entirely alone. Her loyal protector, this absolute giant of a man named Ursus, is also in the arena. His one job? To defend her. It's one man against a furious bull, with Lygia's life hanging in the balance. And then something impossible happens. In an incredible feat of pure strength, Ursus meets the bull's charge, grabs it by the horns, and with all his might breaks its neck. The bloodthirsty Roman crowd goes silent for a beat, and then erupts with roars for mercy. Their demand is so overwhelming that even Nero is forced to back down and spare them both. So, after this miracle, the novel wraps up by showing us the fates of two different men. Each one represents one of the two worlds at the heart of the story, the dying world of pagan Rome and the dawning world of Christianity. On one side, you have Petronius. Knowing his time is up, he decides to go out on his own terms. He throws one last perfect party, writes a brilliant, scathing insult to Nero, and dies elegantly, a truly Roman end. On the other side, you have the Apostle Peter. He faces a brutal execution by crucifixion, but he embraces it, seeing it not as an end, but as the foundation of an eternal kingdom that will outlast the very empire that's killing him. And what about our main characters, Vinicius and Lygia? Saved by that miracle, they escape Rome. And their personal journey, from his violent lust to their shared spiritual love, it perfectly mirrors the novel's grand theme, the transformation of a world from an empire of force to a kingdom of faith. In the end, the title Quo Vadis, which is Latin for "Where are you going?" is really a question for all of us. The book shows how a simple idea of love and sacrifice didn't just survive the most powerful empire in the world, it actually outlasted it. And it leaves us all to wonder about that very question: what truly endures?